From Nagas to Negroes. What's going on? Incremental Science 19. We're going to take it there today. Today, Incremental Science 19. Divine Seeds. The Divine Seeds. I felt like being like Samuel L. Jackson and say, "You motherfucker." I don't know why Samuel L. Jackson just popped up in my head. It's like I don't know, Samuel L. Jackson, motherfucker. All right, so get that out the way. Divine seed concept, yo. I don't know. I'm pretty in a good mood right now because I'm pretty much in a good mood right now because all the progress energy. So I've been kind of goofy for the last hour or so. But I'm gonna get serious because this illustration right here was important. And after I did it, I didn't even have the concept of what to talk about. Like I even left sidebar empty. I had sidebar right here. I left that empty. Let me see where it says sidebar. I left that empty. I didn't even attempt to write anything in that. And I was doing other things. Like I was trying to get the Patreon set up and loading other videos to keep everything in the cycle going. So now we're here. And when I was getting the downloads, it was interesting because it was like, yo, you're going to talk about the divine seed, right? The divine seed. And I'm like, yeah, I know what the divine seed is like, but you got to understand, you have to represent it in a way that it doesn't just explain it. It's cocky. And I'm like, what does that mean? It's cocky. You know what I'm saying? Like the divine seed is what everything wants to be, every element. Or the processes around the divine seed is what everything else wants to be. This is the reason why they put us down so much. You have to be put down and why it was started this way. Everything wants to be you and the energy around you when it's created by the divine. That's like me saying, well, you know what? I don't want to be guided by no one else but the divine because it's not going to come correct. Well, divine don't make mistakes. People do. And y'all have heard me say this a numerous amount of times. But when you're speaking about the divine seed, and especially when you know that you're the divine seed is what all seeds follow their way from. So any other seed in life wants to be like us in an aspect. It's the reason why water flows, or the reason why water looks like this when it moves, or the reason why light serves certain purposes. Well, we entertain these connections to the universe differently. We have a flow of divine ether that water tries to be like. We call the etheric river. We have a universal energy that we can download or pull nutrients in that's more stronger than the sun. And we also have a grounding and stillness method that brings in more of a powerful connection from the source than other living items that are around here in the circumference of where we live today. The reason why this illustration stood out to me, especially, it was like Divine was like, do this. It was just to show that is the simplicity of what it takes to gain this universal principle, especially when you are created in DNA aspect of the divine. We want to get out of the mysticism aspect of telling people that this is for everybody, because it's not like divine went and handcrafted everything. You know what I'm saying? Some things are just creations. This is why divine said I create good, bad, and indifferent. But also in some aspect, a thought pattern was created for a value of replication. This is why the universe expands. It's a value of replication, and we are a part of that. So when a system starts to come to whatever people want to subsequently add up as a detriment or some type of outcome where they don't understand what's happening because of the grandeur amount of motion that's taking place. when celestial bodies are actually in motion at this time, when energy is being expelled greater than the mentality can understand, when bodies are getting affected by this energy and things are taking place. People do not understand how to explain these principles. So they say, oh my God, an angel must have come down and had sex with women. Oh my God, this must have happened and the devil must have did it. The divine creates good, bad, and indifferent, and is all powerful in all ways. And if you can remove the ideology of how humans look at things and always subsequently put it in a contentious understanding to the value of equality, meaning if I explain it, it's going to be a man chasing me in the woods, or it was some type of beast that looked like a man. You know what I'm saying? Like, it had to be in a retrospect of how we see ourselves in order to get some form of familiarity. So we, as a cultural people, never really looked out of the box past that understanding, or even said, well, why do I have to put this? It's because, well, these words are put into an aspect. Well, a reflection is not me. This is me. I'm touching me. I'm physical me. I know this. I can go in my ear. I can't go in my ear in a reflection. It's just that glass right there. So that means it's empty on the inside. It means it's empty. Because I know that my reflection is hitting something that does not have what I entail. But when divine created these reflections, we were filled with something else. We were filled with biometric mechanics that allowed us to absorb divine energy. Don't let nobody tell you no different. That's where they get the combination of the conversation for chakras, or auric energy, or etheric energy, or whatever you want to call it. That's where it comes from. Knowing that your body is fine-tuned to pull in these receptors. You have receptors for everything. They're telling you, you don't need this, you don't need that. Divine don't make mistakes. People do. People get in the way and tell you what you think or don't, or how to understand, because you know why? What the adequacy for their understanding, mentality, or perplexity will not let them connect to whatever value that you may have an affinity to. That's neither there a problem. You just need to remove somebody who's telling you no out your face, especially when you have the jurisdiction to understand the consequences and repercussions of your own actions. Divine is not one who's particularly, and I can speak to this in grandeur because divine creates everything good, bad, and indifferent. It is chaotic. It creates the most beautiful aspects known to man. There is no measurement that I can say that divine was careful about doing any of these things. This is just creation. The creation itself clashes into each other and makes destruction and something on the largest powerful scale in the universe. And you can sit back and watch and be like, ooh, I wish I wasn't a part of that. I want, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, that's just oblivion for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, as far as the understanding of the greatness. Divine is not dealing in the particulars. We are taking divine and subsequently consolidating that energy into ideals that fit our world. That is not reality. It's not reality. You just got to get away from that understanding. So when divine created us, and he didn't have anything to do with the normal system that we have, that was this particular value that was going to keep us indifferent to where we were going. That was called contrast, to make sure you walk your path. Because naturally, if you're following the way that you are created, you're going to be pulled to your natural essence of things. This is universal gravity. So while we focus on meditation, stillness, with divine placement, the divine seed will gain all universal energies from for universal growth. That takes place in another understanding. And I'm about to talk about something at this point where I'm going to have to pause it and come back on it too, because we're hitting about 9:10, and I'm just going to double it up for Incremental 19. We'll just get 2 parts out of that. But yeah, we're about to get deep because it's just a thought that ran across and it keeps pushing in my head. And I never thought this before. It's like something's cramming this into my head. Like, yo, look at it this way. Wait a minute. They always say that. Look at it like this. This is something different. And they don't want you to know this. So, you know what I mean? We're going to talk about that in a minute for Incremental 19. You already know the vibes. Nagas.